I'll check my settings too. Oh, we're good. Welcome back to the channel, folks. We're on a new day here. We've got all the inner fenders painted last night, and they've dried up quite nicely. Got a nice satin finish on it, which is exactly what I wanted. So I guess I should be getting this tape off of here before I get stuck on permanently. Now the big challenge is going to be getting a rad cradle fixed up. The original one got pretty bent up in the collision. Anyways, I'm happy with the way it turned out. And the paint that I used, which isn't really a proper paint, but it's actually stovepipe paint. But you know what? It turned out that it had a satin finish, so, and it's high heat. So hey, if I get an engine fire, I'm good. Yeah, I'm real happy with that. But so now, yeah, the rad cradle is the issue. The other one got bent up pretty bad. So I did get another used one, but it's going to need a little bit of work. I'll show you the one that got dinged. It's got a big bend in her there, and it's also got issues on the bottom. It's been repaired once already, years ago. And yeah, it's I don't think I'm going to be able to straighten that one out very easily. It's all folded over, and yeah, not great. So I'll show you the one I got right here. This is this one's nice and straight. It doesn't have very much other than surface rust. It doesn't have any holes up top, but typical rust problem on the mount area. So that's what I'm going to fix, and I think it's going to be perfectly fine after that. I'll do the same as I did on the inner fenders. I'll just put some rust treatment on this surface rust and give it a good paint job, and it'll be good to go. Okay, the first step in fixing this rad cradle is to clean it up with the wire brush. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty much wire wheeled, and as much of the rust off as possible. I am going to give it the old Rust Mort treatment once the rust repair metal work is done, but that's a lot better than it was. Still a good piece to use. And now it's time to get working on the rust issue. As you can see here, rusted through. Not a bad repair to do. I still have the actual mount locating hole here, and that's fairly thick metal, so that's kind of hung in there. So it's really just this surrounding area here. So I should be able to cut this out and just tie some metal back in. So let me get going on that, and I'll cut you back on after I get that all cut out. All right, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not a big chunk, but yeah, definitely needed to be changed. I got the locating hole there. That's still there. That's good and solid. Just got to fill in the gaps. So yeah, I'm going to grind the other side out while I'm at it. Okay, going to give it the flap disc treatment and get it all ready, and then we'll start cutting some metal pieces to fill in here. Got it all cut out here, and I found a piece of shelving. It's actually about 16 gauge, and that's going to be perfect. And it also has a 90-degree bend on it, which that will be useful in this area right here. So that's what I'm going to use, that piece right there. And then there's one on the other end for the other side. So let me get you set up and I'll get cutting this out. A bit too big of a gap here, but that's why they invented welders. Time to pack up and get in the garage because it's getting dark and starting to rain, so I can do the welding inside. That's great. All right, I'll see you in there. We're getting a bit of a thunderstorm at the moment. Had to quickly drag everything back in. Okay, I got the rag cradle here in the garage finally, and got the welder set up. Got the big old tank on her, and yeah, I've just got to line up this piece here. That's got to go in there, just like that. So let me get that set up, and then we'll get to tacking that in. I'm just letting you know, I'm not a welder. Anything I know about welding, I've learned on YouTube, and it's not a whole lot. So, but you know what? Just do it, and you learn as you go. That's my theory, anyways. As you can see, I've tacked the repair piece in, and I've got this big gap where I cut the miter joint, so I messed that up, but I'm going to put a piece in behind. Something like that. Yeah, that's thunder, all right. It's good. I'll put a couple of holes in here to plug weld it, and that'll just give me good backing to weld that big gap there. All right, let me cut out a piece of metal for that. Okay, so quickly cut that out outside, and we'll see if that's going to work. That looks a lot better. And once this is all welded, I can just trim that nice and neat, or so I think, anyways. Whoa, it's one of my better welds, but there's a lot of metal there, that's for sure. Like I say, we're not going for looks here, going for strength. No, it's not beautiful. Here, I'll take you in for a closer look, because yeah, you should see this, really. So yeah, it's not bad. It's lumpy. I wouldn't, no, I wouldn't write home about this one, but it's certainly going to be functional. I'll clean it up a bit with the grinder, and yeah, we'll just carry on. This is how you learn. That cleans it up. Just knock the tops off the welds. I don't need to make them disappear. It doesn't need to be beautiful. It just needs to be strong and functional. So I think we're kind of at that stage. I'll give you a closer look. Like I say, it's not perfect. It's functional. it's gonna do the job. And like I said, I don't need to hide this. Just make it strong. Okay, now we'll weld up the other side here, and then once that's done, we can flip it over and fit in some more pieces to finish it off. Give it a little grind and then touch it up and see how it is. Looking pretty lumpy right now. So now we're just going to flip it over and fill in the other side. Okay, so I got to fill in these holes here. Just kind of put a plate in there. Same on the other side. Perfect. So I'll just tack it in a couple places, then give a little tap with a hammer, and I think we'll be good. But yeah, it's ugly, but effective. Okay, I think we've got it. It's not a great weld, well, not a great looking weld, but hopefully it's sturdy enough for what I'm doing. Let me take the grinder to it and make it a little more presentable. Okay, that looks all right for what we're doing. Now the other side. Well, it's definitely welded up. Let me take you in for a closer look. Brace yourselves. No, it's not pretty, but you know, every time you weld, you do hopefully a little bit better. It's not a restoration, it's a, let's just try and savor. So that's going to be good for another, well, that's going to do me. All right, now on to the rust treatment and then paint. So let's get this out in the sunlight, and I'll give it some of that Rust Mort treatment. Let it sit for a couple hours, but I think I'm done with the welding. Let's carry on. I think what we need to do, I think the whole reason that this rots out is there's no drainage on this. No way for that, because that actually is the bottom of it. So that fills up with water. It can't go anywhere. So yeah, that's a problem. I'm gonna put a hole right here, and that way the water can, because that's thin there, so nice little water hole there and here. That's gonna give it a lot more life. I'm just gonna poke a few holes, and hopefully that's gonna help the situation. It's not gonna hurt, that's for sure. That's good. And down on this trough too, because that actually sits like this normally, and that's just really just fills with water, so it's useless the way it is. Good enough. I'm just going to put some Rust Mort in a spray bottle and just coat this whole thing, let it sit for 2 or 3 hours, and then give it some paint. Hopefully this works in a spray bottle. We'll soon find out. Oh yeah, that works good. I don't know why I didn't use this before. It's way easier. And flip it over. Looks like that. This doesn't like this acid. Well, that pretty much screwed that. Almost worked. Okay, that looks good. A couple hours I'll wipe it off. There's any excess on there. And then I'll probably could paint it tonight. Okay, let's let that sit, do its work, and then we'll come back and give it a wipe down. Welcome back to the channel, folks. It's the next day after working on this rad cradle for most of yesterday. Did all the repairs on it, gave it an acid wash, and a quick primer coat. So now I'm going to get on to the final coat, and today's flavor is Stove Bright, of course. Why Stove Bright? Well, because this is the cheapest paint I could find this week. So that's what we're going with. All right, I just came to the conclusion that that paint might not be good for me in my geriatric state. So going with a mask. Okay, that's one coat on the first side. I'm going to give that, I don't know, maybe an hour or so to dry. Then I'm going to see if I can flip it over and do the other side, and then I'll be done with it, and it's ready for installation. Well, as it turns out, I had enough paint to do 2 finished coats on this piece, and I think that's going to protect it for many years to come. Up next, we're going to try and install this and the fender and hopefully finish this project up. In the meantime, thank you for sticking with this project, and I hope to see you on the next one.